Hey guys, Eric here, and today we are going to be upgrading a handheld. This is a CoinDrop Customs job. We're going to be putting in a CoinDrop Customs SSD into a ROG Ally X, and I'm going to show how to do that. And at the same time, we're going to be doing some software stuff to it just to make it run more efficient and stuff. Make sure that this customer has a platform that is just like the best that they can possibly get with ROG Ally. There are some inherent performance things, and there's a lot of bloat that comes on the ROG Ally, and we're gonna get rid of all that, as well as upgrading the SSD as far as storage and speed. So that's what we're gonna do today. All right, so this is a stock ROG Ally X that was purchased used, and the customer gave it to us because they wanted the SSD upgraded. I think they plan to do a lot of retro gaming on this, and not only do they want the SSD upgraded, but they want the bloat and stuff removed software-wise. So that's what we're gonna do. And I really like working on the Ally X. It's a lot better and easier to work on than the original ROG Ally, and the specs are just better. So anyway, we are gonna flip this over. I'm just taking a look at the screws right now. Looks like it's been opened before, but either way, that's neither here nor there. So there's 6 screws, 3 on the bottom, 3 on the top. It's very similar to the original ROG where this bottom center one is captive, so it does not come out. So we're gonna take out all these screws, and then we should be able to figure out whether it's actually been opened before or not. The original ROG did not have a ribbon cable that attached this back cover to the motherboard itself. So, and this one does. So you can't just go prying everything up once you have the screws out. You have to be careful of that ribbon cable. That's the captive screw. There's still one here. And then we pry it up. That's the ribbon cable right there I was talking about. And we can pull out the ribbon cable, and there we go. So the back plate is disconnected at this point, and you can see the captive screw right there. All right, and the reason why I like taking these apart rather than the original is because the SSD is right there. So easy. Now, you always want to disconnect the battery when you're working in here. So you be very careful and disconnect this battery and slide that back, and then we go. There we go. Disconnect the battery. And that's pretty much all we need to do. We can pull the battery all the way out, but we don't actually have to do that. The SSD is here, right here on top. So we're gonna remove this screw. That's gonna lift our SSD just like that, and then we can pull it out. That's it. That's the stock SSD. Let's go ahead and see. We'll remove this sticker, thermal sticker here. This is the 1 terabyte SSD. 1 terabyte SSD, full size 2280, easily upgradable, which we really like. So we're gonna put the original SSD right there. And we are putting a 2 terabyte in this one. Here is our 2 terabyte SSD. And this is actually, let's put the thermal sticker. Will it stick? Will it stay? And we want to slide this in at a slight angle, just like that. And then we can set it down. This is easy enough to just screw back in. And as far as hardware goes, that's it. We're gonna plug the battery back in. Bam, just like that. Let's look inside. I just want to see if there's any dust in here. I don't see any dust on the fans. Fans look very clean. So this is used, but it wasn't used a lot, which is very good. Okay, now, so we can get this ribbon cable back in for our back buttons. These ribbon cables are very fragile, so you always want to be careful with them. And then we can clip our back plate back into place. This may not power on right away because as you disconnect the battery, a lot of times these have like a safety feature where they won't power on unless it's plugged in. So we're gonna plug it in. There we go. There's our charging light. So we know it's charging, we know the battery's plugged in, and then we will power it on. And there we go. And we should get the little spinny, rotatey, yeah. All right, there we go. When the logo shifts into this version of the logo, that means, there we go, we're right in the BIOS. That means it is posted. Now, if this is all you were gonna do is an SSD upgrade, you could actually go into the BIOS here and you could download all of the ROG Ally X software and it would restore the SSD as if it was stock and things would be beautiful and you could go on about your day. However, we're gonna do a bunch of custom stuff to this device to make it run as fast as we possibly can for the customer so they have an excellent gaming platform to play. Back to the video once I have done that stuff. And then I'll go over what exactly we did, and then we'll be ready to do some testing and deliver it to the customer. All right, guys, we have done it. We are done upgrading this ROG Ally X, and I'll show you guys what we did. Basically, we coin dropped it. We always got to add our background there. Anyone that gets an upgrade from us or anything, feel free to change that, whatever. But we also put a little secret on here, other than eliminating all of the Windows bloat, upgrading the SSD, as you saw me do. Little surprise, because this customer, you know, this customer paid for it and stuff. But added this onto the drive itself, the SSD, so that everything on it just performs to the best that it possibly can. I always like to do this. This is literally the best drive for handhelds that's out there. Initial boot up takes a little bit of time, but I promise you, you will not regret it. That's the BMA. That's the 2 terabyte BMA drive that is available from the BMA Etsy store, which will be linked in the description down below. Anyway, you cannot beat the BMA drive when it comes to retro emulation, especially for handhelds. I'm just scrolling through here so you can see the systems that are available here, and everything runs amazing. Absolutely love this device, the Asus ROG Ally X. It's a good handheld. I really like it, and it's so performant, and with the coin drop upgrades, it performs even better. So I hope this customer enjoys it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please join me on the next one where we're gonna coin drop a few more. Check this out. Brand new inbox Ally X here that we're gonna work on for another customer. We're gonna do a similar upgrade, but a little bit different for this one, and I'll make a video on that. Got a surprise here. This upgrade is actually a little different that we're gonna work on. This is a ROG Ally Z1 Extreme, and it's in the D brand case, which just makes it look incredible. I actually love how this looks. But this one is getting a full battery upgrade as well as a few other upgrades, and I'll do a video on that one as well. Really excited about that. I really love how this case feels. I wish D brand had cases for other handhelds because this is amazing. All right, guys, thank you for joining me for that one. Hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one.